Okay, so we're going to build this using React and Tailwind, right? So I'm simply going to take you through the step on how to set up Vid and also how to install Tailwind into your React project. Okay, first you need to use Vid. Get started. You need to run this command npm create Vid at latest, and you just need to follow the instructions from there. But I'm gonna show you an example here. Open my terminal, copy and paste that line, hit enter, and then it should ask you questions like how you want to set up your project, right? Why is it not doing that? Yes. And then you give it the name of the project. You can call it dictionary, whatever that you want to give it, and then you choose React, and then you choose React with JavaScript. That's how you install this project. Oh, that's how you install React using Vid. So I'm just gonna cancel this operation here because I've already installed it. What I'm gonna do next is show you guys how to install Tailwind. There's framework guides here, and we gonna open the one with Vid. With this process above here, it was creating this exactly. So we're just gonna skip to install Tailwind CSS. You're gonna need to run this line and also run this line. After that, you need to configure your template path. So you're gonna copy these lines here, take this into my Tailwind config file, which is this one, and I'm gonna paste it here, right? And after that, you take these directives into my CSS. So I'm gonna take these. They even tell you need to go into the index.css file, index CSS. They I already have them, so you just need to paste this. So you can remove everything in your index.css file and paste these 3 lines. And after that, you are ready to run the project, right? So but before we actually run it, I just need to do a quick demo of what we are actually going to build. So we are going to build this. Let me refresh this. So we're going to build this small dictionary app. It's not really a complicated one, so you can Google whatever, or not Google, but search for whatever you want. Let's search for music. Hit search, and then it shows you the results, and you can also play. It should it should uh play the pronunciation of this word music. You can also, I don't know, word, but some of these words don't have uh so some of these words actually don't have pronunciation, so they don't come with the audio, right? So you just need to find a way to play around that. Yeah, so that's basically what we're gonna be building in this tutorial, right? So what I need to do now is actually to stop this server here, the one that I was using for demo, so we can run ours on here. So uh let's close this, go back to Tailwind. So they say in order to run your project, you need to do what? Run npm run dev. So this should start our project, right? And then this is okay. So now you can see, now you can start writing your Tailwind styling, what, right? So what I need us to do is, I need us to delete a few things, right? I need us to delete this app.css file. Let's see. Okay, and then also in our app.js file, I need us to remove everything in here. So let me do this, remove everything in here, and then I'm just simply gonna call this a container. So our project is live, running. We can open it up here, and obviously we won't see anything because oh no. So I also need to remove this, save, go into our main, and yeah, that's it. So open the app.jsx file so we can start with our work. Delete these, we don't need this. So first thing I think we need to do is some sort of navigation, right? So we can have a navigation here and have some sort of a logo, and then we're gonna call it word finder. let me save this. Okay, yes, word finder. We're gonna leave it like this for now, and then we're gonna have an input. We're gonna have an input where we're going to input our keyword. Type is gonna be text. And then we're also gonna have a button here, call it search, but actually we're gonna need to use the icon, the search icon in here. So but for now I'm just putting search. We're gonna replace it in a few seconds. Let's add our classes here. So we're gonna say text to the full width, right? And then I want to give it a background of kind of grayish, and we should remove all the borders, border none, and also the outline I want to remove it. We also want to make it have some curves, so some radius, and then px and py, so the padding on the axis and then the py on the y-axis. Maybe a little bit of shadow. Save, and that's exactly what we have. But also here I want this to center our content, right? So this is exactly what we have, and then we can come into here and say separate these, and then I can also still give it a height. I don't know, with 14. I think this is fair. Also, if you want to make it center, you can see where the weight is. So let's try to use flex here and say flex row and items center. There we have it, right? And then the button, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna try to move this button into this input here. So I'm gonna just simply make use of this margin and say move into. Okay, so we can make it 15. I don't know. No, so there's no 15. So what do we have? We have 16, and then we can keep going up. I don't know. Keep going up. Okay, then so that we have it. We have the search button inside our input here. Let me see if I say small. Okay, yeah, that's what I need. And then also, I don't know if you can give it some sort of background, so it can be distinguishable from the input. Maybe px3 py4. I don't know if you also need this, not small, medium, or large. And then here, okay, so far this is what we have, but I'm gonna change it, right? I'm gonna change it. Also we can give this a color, text blue, a bluish color here, but actually let me use indigo. And font weight bold, and then the text size maybe this. Yeah, I think this is what I think this is nice. So now we have this. We can go into actually displaying the content that we need, right? So we're gonna have the keyword. We're gonna have the keyword or the word that you just searched, and then we're also gonna have it in some phonetic, right? And then we're also gonna have the button here to play it. So what I need to do, maybe I need to have a div here. So this div will contain a tag, maybe called have it a h to be a h2. Let me make this a h2, and then this a h3. And then inside here we're gonna have the word that you just searched, right? Let's just say you search for human, and then you're gonna have span in here, so which will display the word in phonetic. So what I'm gonna do is just write some some funny stuff. Human. So we're just gonna assume this is supposed to be the phonetic or the phonetic version of human, and then we also need a button here which will play when we click, which will play the word, which will play the pronunciation when you click on it. So the button will say, okay, now we're just gonna have a play text in here, and then I want to come in here, say flex row, justify between, save this, and then maybe we can also have some y, so we can, okay, 5. And then also I need to start with the button here. The button, we're gonna make it a background of and then the width maybe 20, and then also the height has to be 20, and then rounded we're gonna say full, so that the button can be a cycle. So it seems like 20 is a lot, maybe I don't know, 12, save. Yeah, that's okay. And then also here I want us to make this to be a block level. You know what, let me do this. Also here I want us to have some sort of padding on the X level, so can push. Okay, now this looks okay. So I want us to work on here and say this is gonna be also font bold. However, some of the style we apply on the human, we don't necessarily need them here. So I'm gonna say text.normal, not normal, but light, I think. Oh, not font, normal, and also maybe the text size here, and then this obviously has to be text small. Also the color, text color gonna be this. Did I use 600 somewhere? Yeah, I think this would be fine. And also here what I need to do is to increase this. Let's make it 3, and I want this text to be using the serif font. Yes, so that's something that we have so far. So now we need to show the content, right? Like the explanations, the examples, the new synonyms and everything, right? So we go into another div here. So we're gonna have another div which is supposed to show us all the content that we need. So first thing first, I can also try to separate the content. Okay, and then in here we're gonna have a couple of things, right? We're gonna have a couple of things. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a div again. So this div will contain if this is a word, I mean this is a noun, this is a verb, or what, right? So there's some sort of classification, right? So it's gonna be a p tag. We're gonna have a b tag in here. So this b tag for now we're just gonna say it's a noun, and then we're also gonna have a hr for some line. We're gonna see the line. Then let's start with the styling here. Let's do the flex flex row, item center, and then maybe also the text we can make it large. I don't know, also make it bold. And then the font also want to make use of the serif font. So you cannot really, let me see if I can style this and make it okay, and then let me try to apply some margin so it doesn't touch this. So yeah, okay, or maybe on the left, is it the left side? Yeah, on the left hand side. So this is the noun. So under this we should be seeing explanations or more about this word as a noun, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have another tag. We're gonna have another p tag here under this, and then this will just say meaning. So the meanings, that's where you're actually going to see the meaning. We're gonna use an unordered list here to display the definitions, right? So the class here, I'm gonna say the list style is gonna be disk, and then we wanna push the list items. We wanna shrink them by using the padding X, right? Also maybe the text inside this list has to be at least grayish so it can be distinguishable from the rest of the text. And then also the sizing has to be small, the spacing wide between them. And then yeah, I think this should be it. So if you go into here and then we list one item, say lorem 10, now I'm gonna duplicate this line like this. So we have something like this. So we have a meaning, and then we can also go to this meaning and try to style it. Where is it? Here's the meaning. So let me try to style this meaning here. Make it a bit darker, but not really different from this. And I don't know if I also need to maybe let me separate it. Great. I also don't know if I should maybe like I don't know, let me see, text more, but it looks like it's part of them. Okay, well maybe let me just leave it as it is, right, like that. And also maybe font, maybe semi bold. Yeah, I think this should be fine. So that's basically what we need. Wait a minute. So what I also want to do before we actually start using the API to search for these words, I want to like break down this thing into components, right? So we have I want to take some of these into their own components. So we have a heading here. So I'm just gonna copy this, cut it actually, create a content here, create a file called heading.jsx, and then there is a shortcut, boom, paste here. I'm gonna need to export default heading. I'm gonna I'm gonna go into here, and where did I cut it? I cut it here, and I'm just simply gonna import it, paste it. So we imported the pet. Okay, let me just close this because we have already installed them. So I'm simply going to save this, and then nothing changed. Also, I want to take this, cut it, and create another file here and say content.jsx react blah blah blah, and then paste this here. What I'm gonna do is content, here is it, and save. So nothing really changed because we simply cut it and pay and return the content, but then as a standalone components. So yeah, now we have this. What I need to do next is actually like replace these words in here, or this text in here, with the actual icons, right? So let me grab them. Okay, so now I have the play and search icons in here, so we can use them here. We can replace these with image src, and I'm gonna say the source here is search image. What I'm gonna do is I'm just simply gonna import the search here, I mean the icon search image from public, and then search dot png, and then we can also import the play one, the play actually the play is not in here. So here I'm just gonna take this and put it here, and then maybe we can give it the width of, I don't know, 18. Let me say save. Oh no, what did I do? What is it saying? Failed the import. Oh, into assets. There is a folder into assets. What's going on? Oh, there's no public actually. Damn, what am I doing? We are actually just going into assets. Damn it. And then search.png, save, boom. And then now that we have the icon, I don't think we need to have the background color here. And also maybe here we need to like minimize it from 16 maybe to 14. Yeah, I think this should be fine. And also we need to change the play one. So I'm just gonna copy this, go into the heading, paste here and say we want the play, and then also it's a play.png. Here we're gonna have an image with a width of maybe 18, and then the source will be play. The source is this. Close it, save. And then as you can see, the button, okay, let me try to make it this light 200. Wait a minute. Okay, and then you can see the image is not really well aligned. Let me use flex to try to put it on center, and also flex row. Save. Oh, come on, what's going on? So flex row, set item center. Does it want this one? Yes, so there we go. So we have the button here. So now we can basically say we have our UI finished, right? So let me copy down this and see if it looks okay with the rest. Okay, yeah, that's basically it. So maybe here we're gonna have as a verb, a noun, and blah blah blah, right? So the next thing is, let me close this. So the next thing what we need to do is to use the API to fetch the values and feed it into our app, right? So here's the API that we're going to use. You can go to dictionary api.dev. It's a free API. You don't need even to sign up for anything. So this is how you can use it. You have so here's the API entries and English, and then you pass it, you give it the way that you're searching for, and then this the response gonna look like, right? So it's gonna contain an array, and then what we are basically looking at is actually the meanings here. So the meanings can be an exclamation mark, definitions, the synonyms. Oh, and I think in our content here we forgot to actually include synonyms. So after the UL here, we actually have to display synonyms, right? And then I can just have one here and say it's a hello, and text and style, and do some indigo blah blah 500. Go back in here. So yeah, also I wanna just import something else so we can make our app look a bit beautiful. So I'm just simply going to import Google font here. So let me import this on top of these directives, and to use it I'm also gonna paste this. So if you wanna use an external font, so you can try to use this. So let's look at it. As you can see, our font has actually changed here, right? Let me save this, go back. You can see it's no longer the same. Save. Yeah, I think I love this font. So go back to the synonyms. I don't know if we need to do any styling in here, I mean on the synonyms, but except that maybe, I don't know, make it a bit grayish like everything else. maybe also the text has to be small, and then the MOI to be safe. Did it do anything? Let me say 2. Yeah, I think this will be okay. So we have this, as you can see also here. So I'm not necessarily going to show the antonyms, I'm only going to show the synonyms, right? So yeah, let's actually get started, right? Let's get started and search for words. So go back into the app and let's have some use state here. We're gonna have the word search word, set word, yes, not search, and use state, and then it's gonna be an empty string, and then this word would actually come here at the value, and on change we're just simply gonna pass in set word e.target.value. So we're going to take whatever that's in the input and put it into our value here, and then on this button here we're going to call a function that will search on click search word, right? So we're going to create a function here called search word, which will basically search up our word using the using this. Let me copy this API here, but the base URL, and then we're simply gonna use, oh, also here we can have the results, right, where we're going to save our results. Set results is gonna be an empty array. So await fetch this, but then here we need to remove this and then concatenate it with the word that we are searching for, which is should be this one, and then the await is complaining, and then after that we also need to have the results like this by awaiting them at the response.json, and then these results can be saved into our results here. But then again, if you look at it, the results that we are looking for, also as you can see, we have an array and then it has one object. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say set results and pass in these results here, or actually let me call it data so we don't have to clash with that name here, and data, and then as you can see, it's an array, right? It's an array. So I'm just gonna say array, take the value at the index 0 and save it. So let me console out the results here. So let me do s control and then console out the results and open up here, go to this. Seems like we have an error. Why there's nothing on our screen console? Use state is not defined, imported. Okay, seems like everything is okay now. So let me search for human, search, and then there we have it. So there we have the result. So we have the license, the meanings, the phonetics, and then usually in this phonetics, that's where you have an array, and then the array, one of them usually contains the audio that you can play for the pronunciation. As you can see here at index 1 and 0, you have it, but then there is no audio, right? You see the audio property here contains an empty string. So you need to go over this array, this phonetics array, and find the element in the array that contains this audio, so that we'll be able to play it, right? But then for now, what we need to do is actually to display the meanings, right? So let's try to display the meanings. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna say results if they have meanings, let's display content, and then we're gonna say okay, results.meanings.map. So we're gonna try to map content. Oh no, why am I typing? Okay, return no, return this. And then what I'm gonna do is simply just pass in everything from the results, right? And then when we go into the component content, I'm gonna destructure the values that we need. So in here we need the noun, so we need where how do we get if it's a noun or what, where exactly? So in the meanings, right? So as you can see, we are going through the meanings array. So and then we passing in the content. Oh, why am I passing the result? Content. So I'm gonna go into part of speech and display part of speech. So in here we're going to display part of speech here, and then we're simply gonna destructure it from here. What else do we need? The meanings. The meanings is also an array. So part of speech, and then we also have what, definitions. No, we have definitions, yes, and then so it means we have to go through this array of definitions. Ooh, so we're going through an array of definitions. Definitions is an array which contains the definitions, so we have to list them like we are listing these allies here. So definitions map, I'm just gonna call it def and return this, take this, put it here. So inside the definition we have a definition, inside the definitions we have a definition, so I'm gonna take the definition here. So we're gonna say def dot definition. I know this might looks confusing now. Okay, let me delete everything here. Okay, let me take a step back. So we are passing in, because we are going through an array of meanings, right? As you can remember from here, we are going through an array of meanings, right? Which contain meanings, and then this meanings array, this one has a part of speech which we want, and also has an array of definitions which we want. As this, you see these list items will be the definitions, and part of speech will be this noun. So we need the part of speech and definitions. That's exactly what we destructure in our component here, definitions. And this definitions is also an array. So wait, this array, so we can go into this array and grab the definition property, right? So this array contains an object which has antonyms, blah blah blah. We wanted the definition, so that's why we're saying def.definition. And usually when you're doing this, you might need the index. So the key here is gonna be the index. Save this and also go in here and save this. Let's see if we are getting any errors. Probably can read property of content 12. Content 12. So we cannot read definitions. So if the length, maybe in here, if the length is greater than 0, so only try to display the content if the results dot meanings length array is greater than 0, right? And then also I need to remove these ones because we no longer need them. Remove. Wait a minute, I still get errors. Fresh. Can read property of, god damn. Okay, now we have it. Also we need to take the heading here, cut the heading and paste it here. Obviously we're getting the errors. I don't know if we do this, we are not solving anything. So take this and use the fragment, paste it in here, and then here we have some expressions. I'm gonna do this. Wait a minute. let me sort out this. Why am I having a lot of these? So this one we have one exactly, so that's what we need. So you can see the heading or the content if this array of meanings contain nothing, right? So yeah, I think that's what we have so far. What we need to do is, so what's next now for us is actually to display the content, right? So let me say find search find. Why is it taking so slow? So okay, each key, so it seems like okay, even here we need to do the index, but as you can see, the result for find has been displayed here. So the verb, I mean the noun, and also the verb. But then for the human, we still haven't done anything for the heading, right? So we need to deal with that. So in the heading here, so let's look at this. In the heading, we have the word, we have the phonetic, and also we have to play the audio that gets passed to us. So we have to say we want the audio URL so we can be able to play it. And then we also want the word that we just searched for, and also for the phonetic version of it. So phonetic, come here, place it. And then also here you're gonna say word, and then if you can look at the word here is in lower cases, so we can just say capitalize it, save this. What I need us to do now is actually create or have an audio tag here, that we're going to use to play the track. And then we're gonna hide it so it doesn't mess up our layout here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna create a ref so we can be able to play it. So I'm gonna go up here and create a ref, use ref, import it, and then the src, the source, will be the audio URL that we just passed in here. Save this. Obviously this doesn't do anything, so we need to go back into the heading, I mean our app, and then so we can be able to pass in the information that is needed in the heading, right? So what I want to do is actually to have some sort of logic that will go over our phonetics array and grab a property that contains this, because as you can remember, some of these words don't have these values, don't have the audio with them, right? So I need to go over this array and look for an element that contains audio, right? Because sometimes this audio is an empty string. So what I need to do is I'm gonna have a function here, simply call it heading. So what I'm gonna do with this heading, I'm gonna simply reply or respond with the audio URL, and then also the word that is needed in the heading. Remember, in the heading we have the word, the phonetic, and the audio URL. So I'm simply gonna say word, audio, and then the phonetic, right? But then for the audio URL, what I need to do is go through this array, and then I'm gonna say audio. I'm gonna say results. If results have actually, this shouldn't even be an empty array. It just be now. If results have a phonetics array, we're simply going to try to find the property, or I mean an element in this array that contains audio, right? So we're gonna say phone, where phone dot audio is not equal to an empty string. So we're trying to find an element in this array which does not contain an empty string. This audio does not contain an empty string. And when we find it, I'm simply going to try to grab the audio property from it, because if you don't grab the audio from it, it's simply going to return that particular element. So we don't just want the element, we want the audio tag, I mean the audio property. So now that we have the audio, we have this, we can simply pass it into our object here. And then as for the word, we're gonna simply say results word, which is this, where is it, which is the word, and then the phonetic is this one. So it means we can just say results phonetic, also this. So with this function, we simply extracted information that we need to use in the heading. So what I need to do is just take this function here, and I'm just gonna do this and say heading, because I know this function returns the audio URL, the word, and also what, the phonetic. So if I go into the heading, you can see we are destructuring them from whatever that object was passed. So I mean that object was returned from here. So because our function here returns an object, so we're simply destructuring it from there. So if I open here, and then let's search for music again, search for music, and then you can see now we have music, but then we actually don't have nothing really. You see, we don't play any music, right? So what I need to do is go into the heading so we can be able to play the music. So we have a button here and say on click play audio, and then we don't have this function play audio. Let's just have it here constant. We're gonna simply say ref dot current dot play, and then it's going to play this audio, right? Let me see now if it will do it. You see music. So if we search for another word, let me say word, search for word, and then word. So it's working, right? I think we left something, we left the synonyms, so we need to deal with the synonyms, and we should be done with this project. So hello, so how do we get the synonyms? So in the meanings, this object contains antonyms and synonyms. So we have the synonyms. So in here, we can simply get synonyms. It's an array. What I'm gonna do is, so if we have synonyms, so simply display this, take this, paste it here. However, we need to display the contents of that array. So we're gonna say synonyms. Oh no, synonyms dot map synonym, and pass in this, and then we're simply gonna say, let's see how the array looks like. So it's an array of strings, so we can just simply say synonym is synonym. Seems like we have a problem here. What's going on? Save this. So this one, this p tag, open, close, open another one. Let me remove this. Okay, there we go. So oh, there is no space between them, so maybe mx2, boom. Seems like boom, 1 2 is a lot. So close this, make this maybe 100%, refresh. Let me search for something else. Human, each child, content, in the content. So this is where we are. So also here we can do the index, and then the span will have a key. will have a key of index. Okay, date, it's okay. Human, woman. So basically that wraps up our whole project, right? So you managed to build a simple dictionary which finds words for you and even play their pronunciation. Person, yes. So basically that's it. Organization, organization, organization. So yeah, basically that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, learned something. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.